War on Gaming here. So I'm actually going to be meeting up with a friend of mine in a feud to do a hidden heart attempt. I already have my toothpick and stuff. If I remember correctly, that video is already up on the channel actually. But this is to help someone else get their hidden heart. So I'm going to be teaming up with a friend of mine, King Pim. He actually has a Twitch, and he has about 3,000 followers, I think, streaming on Twitch and stuff. But he's going to be streaming as well. That hidden heart attempt, we're going to help someone get it. But anyway, long story short. So the other thing is, of course, this live is titled as a channel update. And the reason I wanted to do an update was to just also bring everyone up to speed. I've been busy with a lot of stuff out here, in the IRL world, and it's just been kind of busy trying to get a lot of things done. So I haven't been doing videos as much. I'm still definitely going to be trying to put out a video at least once a week or stream at least once a week, if not a little bit more. But we'll definitely be ramping up as we get into May. So, for those of you who are not aware, the DLC in Tonto We Trust is going to be dropping for Forspoken, and that'll be out on the 23rd. And so later this month, I'm definitely going to be, of course, playing through that, and we'll be doing a walkthrough for that DLC. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And of course, I'll be doing a little bit more gameplay videos again as we get into that, because in addition to the walkthrough for that, Frey is supposed to be getting new abilities. We're going to be able to do like tag team abilities between Frey and Senta and everything. And for those people who are not caught up, so pretty much Frey is going to be going back in time and meeting up with her mother. And they're going to be doing a bunch of stuff in terms of trying to save Athia, right? And in doing so, they're going to wind up having to use quite a few different tag team abilities and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. So I definitely can't wait to get into that. Now, as far as this hidden heart is concerned, what we're here for today, I haven't. Okay, cool. He said he's streaming now, so let me let him know to let me in. All right. Just gonna let him know I'm streaming on my end as well. Send me an invite. But yeah, so I don't know what we're actually going to be doing in terms of, first of all, I know he said that we're helping one of his buddies, but I don't know what this is actually going to be, whether this is kind of like one of those situations where it's just going to be the three of us, which will be a totally cool way to kind of run things. I guess that'd be a nice challenge, right? For us to actually do like a three-person HH. But if we're not going to be doing a three, then it'll be a four-person HH. So either way, it'll be pretty interesting. Oh, and I guess let me get him in a party too. Now that I think about it, hold up, let me get that running. I hope that this won't mess up his audio or anything, but we'll see. I think I also have my party audio shared too, so that shouldn't be an issue for the stream itself. Yeah, y'all should be able to hear me. Right now, I'm just waiting to hear back from him. I guess while I'm doing that, I can go ahead and kind of walk through, even though you probably just saw it in the flick through, but these are my different characters that I have, right? So in Legends, for those who aren't versed in it, uh, pretty much Ghost of Tsushima was this game that came out a few years ago Really, really good game. I recommend anyone to go and play it because it's basically what we should have had for Assassin's Creed if Assassin's Creed went to Japan and we never got it. So, long story short, you have Jin, who is this samurai who basically winds up having to go on this journey to do things in an unorthodox way to save his homeland. And of course, he winds up doing things along the lines of using not only like samurai techniques, but more like along the lines of ninjutsu, stuff like that, and just kind of just really expanding or expounding upon a lot of Japanese folklore and legend. And so, with that being said, when we take that martial arts aspect of what kind of sort of did happen in Japan, and then we combine that with some of the actual folklore and tales, we get kind of this thing where they created this, of course, it's fictional, but this fictional reference of legends itself. And so we have these four main characters, each of them kind of represents a part of Jin's own skills. So you have the samurai, you have the hunter, the ronin, and the assassin. And so the idea is that for each of the specific characters, you can sit here and kind of and really build out their different move sets, right? So the samurai is an up close and personal fighter. Then we have over here. Oh, he followed me on Twitch. Um, let me let him know. Uh, YouTube right now. Not Twitch at the moment. Thanks for the follow. Um, and then let me also send him my account so that that way he has information on this too. But yeah. And so the thing is that so you have these different characters: the samurai, the hunter, the ronin, the assassin. And let me see if let's see what his situation is with his party right now. But so pretty much the samurai, let's walk through the builds and stuff. There's a bunch of different ways for you to build your characters, but I like to use a water katana for most of my characters. That's because it's one of the more functional stances. I personally do not really cater to MMC. I don't use the technique. I don't have a favorable opinion of the technique, but at the same time, I'm not going to go and police anybody's way of playing. So I also use on the samurai, for example, bombs. I can make it do, make it work with bow and arrow stuff like that. I'm good with that too. But I like bombs personally. So I also use the samurai charm, and then I use like health increase fire master because I like applying status effects when I play. And then I use kunai on several of my characters. Reason being, kunai can hit multiple enemies, and it of course has a low cooldown time. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. And then also I have the smoke bomb that I put on my samurai also. And so that's just to be able to kind of hide from enemies when you need to, and therefore not get yourself into trouble. So that for me is a big thing. Now, if we look at some of the other stuff, so if we switch over to the hunter, I also have like the wire katana for the hunter, same as before. Then I have the skipping stone bow, hunter charm, the ghost weapon, which is the sticky bomb, and then the smoke bomb for my hunter too. And that's my layout for the hunter. I can also go through the techniques as well. So I like to get by with about one legendary so that way I can actually use all of the perks. So deep strikes for the samurai, resolve increase, and Hachiman's frenzy. Which, by the way, it looks as if my friend is actually currently playing through something else. Looks like he might be in a nightmare story. So I'm going to go ahead and do something that is pretty much a solo. We're not going to actually finish it unless for some reason he takes a lot longer than I expect. It looks like he's probably doing the nightmare story right now. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Him and one other person looks like are doing the nightmare story at the moment. So I'll just show the samurai since I have time to demo this one. Alright, so going through how to tackle enemies. We can hide over here, they won't see us for the time being. That enemy right there is a Tengu. You always start with taking out the Tengu unless you're doing what would be like a speed run situation, which in that case, there's a slightly different way to do this. If we're doing a speed run situation, then you look for a barrel, 9 times out of 10, and then you try to draw the enemies over this way. You do not want to get hit by him with the swinging, which is why I did that little crazy dodge of mine. So this allows you to sit here and get the enemies kind of riled up, and in addition to that, get rid of the Tengu really quickly while doing damage to a few of the other enemies. I will need to switch over to my flash bomb because that is actually the better one to have on the samurai, but this works too. Then I use Raging Flame there to be able to deliver more damage with my ult. And so see, now we're basically done with almost all of the enemies that were present. And that way it's very easy to sit there and clear out a set of enemies. And so this is one circle, then we'll go to the next one. A really good way to challenge yourself is to do wave. This is considered to be wave 0. A really good way to challenge yourself is to do wave 0, but do wave 0 with do a plat like this, but make it a custom plat and then do it with, let's say, aggressive enemies or something like that. I'm also showing here how to dodge the Tengu. If you literally just run, you can dodge the majority of the Tengu's attacks by just running around. And then, of course, all you do from there is just take enough time to be able to like burn down the clock on a Tengu. Now, I didn't mean to crawl under the floor like that. It just kind of happened. So I'm just going to run around a little bit. As you can see, eventually he runs out of crows. And once the crows have run out, then you just have fun with it, right? Stop him really quickly. And the reason is to be able to have the opportunity to get that Raging Flame out. I use Poison Blade and Burning Blade on my samurai sword, and it's for this reason. That's why it's on my katana. When they do that circle attack, either get away from them, or if you're in close range, you can potentially jump it, but you have to jump it at exactly the right time. See, like what I did there. Alright, and we're done with him. And so that's second circle clear. Again, fastest way is to do it via the barrels, but if you want to get a little bit more of a fight in with the enemies, then you don't have to use the barrels. And of course, a lot of your clearing power is really based on what's on cooldown and what's not on cooldown when you get into a fight, right? That's why it's so important to know exactly where all your enemies are. Because for example, this can now become a very easy thing. Because I can literally just come in with that, stop him from moving. We're already done here. Hide from those guys because they're up there shooting arrows and whatnot. And by the way, as you can see, and we can jump that, we're already almost back to full on the ult. So that's done too. Then we run for this guy. Shotgun kunai because you launch the kunai up close. Find this other one. And every time they get ready to fire an arrow, you just stop them by using a bomb. He's done. Jump this. Then you can either roll or sidestep that spin. And then shotgun kunai, and we're done with that one too. So that would be an example, of course, again, of how to like close the circle or to go through wave 0 with a character, and just showing off a bit of the samurai's abilities and how to play him. So we'll return to the lobby again. As I said, I'm just waiting for King Pim to go ahead and finish up the nightmare story. But what we can do is we'll run another character so I can show off the hunter. My hunter is not my best. I'm going to just go ahead and say that right now. My assassin is my main. Everybody else, I'm good enough to hold my own, but I'm not going to say I'm some king player. And of course, again, there are people who make me look bad. There are some truly world-class players for this game. Truly. Alright. So, same thing as before. We can come over here. We can set up from anywhere, really. This is the hunter. So the idea is we want to put down damage as far as we can and from whatever distance. Once we get that headshot on the Tengu, everybody else is kind of a whatever. I like to use a sticky bomb to be able to kind of slow the field a bit. And see, as you can see, you get a lot of resolve from headshots, right? And then the rest you can, of course, get from parries and stuff. Or from kills, too. Once you have enough, you can sit there and then just pretty much release an ult. And the ults do massive damage against enemies. If you have the skipping stone bow, then of course you can kind of bounce your headshot. And then an explosive arrow headshot is extremely damaging too. You just gotta let it basically burn through. As you can see, the enemy health will burn down really fast. Now you wait until the last second to dodge that ability with the twirl. Now this twirl, that twirl that I just got hit with there, that's an untelegraphed twirl. There's nothing you can really do about that one, so you just have to hope that you have enough health to not die from it. Also, side note, I am using manual aim. So my aim is a little bit slower probably than it should be sometimes. But that's because I like to use manual aim instead of aim assist. And even then, as you can see, there is still some drag. So once you can get the enemy grouped, you can hit them like that and take out quite a few of them at once. And as you can see that, of course, point blank explosive arrow does do a pretty good job too. So one of the benefits, the enemy will not attack you, or at least the ones on the ground won't generally attack you when archers are firing. So you can use that to your advantage too. Again, watch out for that attack. I'm gonna take some distance just in case. His distance is terrible for that. So I knew it wasn't going to hit me, so I just stood back a bit. I don't have headshot refund on the charm that I'm using on the hunter at the moment. It's fine though. I'll be able to get enough arrows from when I throw out another smoke bomb. So in a situation like this, I wouldn't even bother with fighting up front initially. I'd hit that guy in the head. Literally, the explosive arrows just going to kill him from the beginning, just as you saw there. All of the little guys die almost immediately to an explosive arrow up front. Set up right here with a smoke bomb, so that way hopefully I can get the majority of them together. The closer that everyone is, the better the ricochet potential, so you really want that ricochet. Now that's my bad for not getting the headshot. I'm gonna just let that fire burn him. There we go. When they do Zero like that, it tends to be one shot, and then if that's the case, you don't really have to worry too much about the follow-up. You jump out of that attack. Now see, that is an example of where things kind of go wrong with the explosive arrow. So you need to be prepared to kind of make do if that situation occurs. Now, after a few hits like that, back off. The reason being, you don't want to get caught in a situation where he's able to sit there and spam that spin move on you. So it's one of those things where you just have to know what you're capable of and not capable of. I know that I am not a super god with the hunter, so I won't put myself in a position where I have to be one, because that's not a good idea. So we'll go ahead and switch to the next character. Again, I'm just going to keep demoing characters until he's ready. So I'll go ahead. And show off the Ronin really quickly. So with my Ronin, I have staggering breath on there. There's a bunch of different ways you can build the Ronin. There's nothing wrong with having a healing prioritized Ronin. And depending on the situation, that could well be useful. I have Spirit Kunai on my Ronin so that way I get my abilities back as quickly as possible. Now, here's the beautiful part about this. When enemies come close to me, they get hit by that staggering breath, and it automatically weakens the enemy in question. Again, you wait on that slam. Now, that was one of those moments where he attacked the wrong enemy, to be honest, but we'll get into that, I guess, later. So this is the awesomeness of Spirit Kunai. For every kill that I get, it's 10 seconds off the cooldown of pretty much everything. See, that's that slam, then they stab. Once you can get into the smoke bomb like that, it helps your situation immensely, because most attacks don't hit once you're in the smoke bomb. Then we'll go ahead, we blow him back again. If you don't want an enemy moving around, hit them with a concussion bomb. He can still do those surprise slams, but just dodge back out of that surprise slam. And that will tend to help you out some. Roll past that attack, and then just deliver your attack. Now, the difference between this and, let's say, a plat with aggressive enemies, the timings are going to be a lot tighter. So you'll have to be prepared to launch these attacks a lot faster, and you have to be aware that the level of tracking that you will have to deal with will be total bullcrap, just letting you know ahead of time. You will have to deal with some stupid retarded tracking. See, now that move there was telegraphed. Whenever you see that kind of like where they raise the spear a second, that step is telegraphed. Now, be careful with the big guys here, because they can still, even from in the smoke, they will respond with an attack up front. Now, that was not what I kind of pressed for my character to do. Something else, I guess, to note as well, for anyone who's not familiar with the problems with ghosts, and I do mean the problems, because there are certain problems here. When you do certain attacks, things can get kind of crazy in terms of follow-up for your attacks. What I mean by that is, if you're currently in a command action and you go to initiate another action, the game will not respond. I'm going to just keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it 100. The game will not respond properly if you are already in an action. So you cannot button press or button mash with Legends. It just won't work right. And that's just the truth of the matter. So you have to make sure that you understand that. The other thing is, the way that I'm playing right now is not the way you would play for an HH. Right now I'm just kind of showing off different abilities. I'm willing to step in, willing to take damage, willing to get caught. If you're playing an HH, you have to play way more cautious. Everything is about not taking damage. Why? Because of the fact that at the end of the day, you're playing with shared wounds. So, if you get your teammates hurt, well, what'd you accomplish? Because every time they get hurt, everyone gets closer to losing. So, like, even that, for example, because I honestly figured I was going to be able to move fast enough to actually dodge whatever else was happening there. So as you can see, it's just having really quick input and knowing what to do when. That's the key. That is the key. He's getting really annoying with those arrows, so I'm just gonna go ahead and find him. Also, never get to a point where an enemy is in your blind spot. If that happens for too often, make sure that you're not in that position anymore. That's your responsibility when fighting. Now, let me see if Pim is ready. Okay, not yet. Alright, so we did this circle. So let's go ahead and now I'll play my main for a bit. And kind of denote the play. And there's a few different ways to play an assassin. I play both bomb and blowgun assassin. I've been getting more used to the blowgun recently. My favorite, my onus, my skill is really with the bomb-based assassin. But I can play blowgun if I need to. And for the upcoming HH run, I intend to play blowgun because of what blowgun can do. I am still using manual, of course. You know, it's not like you saw me go in and change any of my settings, right? The reason why blowgun is really powerful is because all I have to do is just put a few blow darts in his headshots, and all of a sudden I'm ulted up and ready to go. That's why it's so powerful. And then from here I just find whatever enemy I want to kind of play into, and there we go. The only thing can be, of course, the fact that at the end of the day, it's not as foolproof per se in terms of your movement capability. Or should I say your hit capability, because of the fact that you don't have AoE damage. Blowgun doesn't have that. You don't have that functionality with blow darts, right? Now I'm trying to see where the Tengu is, because the Tengu is honestly the most dangerous one out of these guys. Oh, see, there's the Tengu. So see, what we want to do now is get in here and get to a safe spot. Oh, okay. All right, he says that they're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and return to the lobby.
クロードが残した数々の手柄、その一つをお話ししましょう。
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. So let me know when. Yep, I saw y'all. Because he was just doing a nightmare story. Yeah, so he must be chilling, doing something else on there at the moment.
どの話にいたしましょう。
So yeah, I'll go back in here and continue
始めましょ
う。Showing off a bit with the assassin.
雪に咲く赤。
Yeah, it looks like he's doing rivals too, so he's probably gonna do all of the nightmare stuff beforehand, and then do the rest. So I have high stealth damage on my assassin, so stuff like this is readily possible. Now, let's show something. Run like this, get over here, put down the smoke bomb, and then what you do is switch to something like that. If you're using the hunter, you could literally just sit there and basically ult smash everyone in that little section there. But since I don't have a hunter, that's kind of outside of my range at the moment, because that's not the character I'm using, right? So instead, I just weakened everyone enough to where once I have a kunai ready, I can basically just take them out with the same move. See? Don't want to get scored by that, right? And then again, take distance, then just hit him with the headshot with the blowgun, and there we go. The poison even did the job for us. Now you can charge through this attack to avoid it. Then after that, just sit there and follow up with your strikes. Alright. So from here, we'll go ahead and same thing as before. We want to find the Tengu. I see the Tengu. We're gonna land gently. Hit him with that really quickly. We'll go ahead and clear the surrounding enemies. Now I wanted to make sure that I left one. See where I can deliver an assassination here, right? Now from here, I can do whatever I want. But we can just put together a little area here to hide, per se. We'll lower his health with some well-timed poison darts. Do the same on this side. We have one more to spin. Roll out of the way of that. Then we'll just go ahead and start putting down. Oh, now see, I didn't see that stab. That was my bad. I should have seen it. Didn't see it coming. And so that's why you have to kind of be careful when you're in the middle of enemies a lot. One thing that you can adjust the camera like this, but it still gets kind of complicated sometimes to follow all of the enemies and what they're doing. I was at the edge of that circle, that's why I didn't get hit, but to be honest, that could have gone bad. Alright. So we're done there. Pick up the dart. We only have one dart, so we gotta make sure that that one dart counts, right? Oh wait, let me see. Oh no, nope, we do only have one dart. So let's go ahead and go this way. And again, we're gonna make that one dart count. So first things first, we go after him. And see, we can make that one dart count in that we can combo with poison and the dart, and then that'll take out the Tengu. Then we walk over here. We get in the perfect location to get rid of a few more enemies. I'm gonna aim for that one up there so that we've lowered the health of that archer. Then I'm gonna deliver a few more over here. And then you see I use the ult to dodge that Oni slam. Because that Oni slam can still do damage to you. Don't think that you're somehow invulnerable when in ult. Because you're not. Now we're going to kind of back off because I want to see what each enemy's going to do. He's going to get stopped just by the poison, but then of course this fool's going to get in the way of my attack. Watch out for this one. Now see, I got him with poison and fire, so that's a done deal. He's done. Now see, this is an instance where the dodge really doesn't behave the way that I wanted it to there. But as you can see, that was a good way to perfect dodge. So if we dodge that, and then we dodge the stab, and then we just throw the, I didn't even have to see him to hit him, just throw the kunai in his general direction, and we're done there. Now again, big difference here, if this were a plat with custom modifiers, is going to be the speed of the enemies. So let's go ahead and show that off too while we're waiting. So let's go ahead. I won't do the challenges yet. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Let's see here. We'll do a custom survival. We'll do Plat in the Snow. Yeah, Blood in the Snow. My bad, y'all. And then custom mode, matchmaking disabled. Alright. And so let's go ahead and we'll put on, these are the two things that make the enemy so problematic. Now this one, which is shared wounds, is the one that makes it death for fighting in a team. But the first two, aggressive foes and empowered foes, are the ones that make everything rough when you're fighting in general against the enemies in terms of their speed, durability, etc., etc. Also, their ability to notice you is a lot faster. the level to which they can do damage, attack you, scare you, the whole nine. All of it is just over the top at this point. So we're just gonna get rid of them from the beginning. I kind of want to show what you're dealing with. So see how much damage that one little bitty strike did? And look at the tracking there, right? You have to dodge everything at the last possible second if you're doing aggressive pose. Again, all dodges come at the last possible second. Like, this dude's still trying to move around and attack me even now. Now see, that would have been nice if I could have gotten... There we go. And again, you can go in, you know, I guess, quote unquote, guns blazing if you want, but it's just not a good idea. Because shared wounds will cause you to give your whole team damage. See that tracking? Look at the speed of that initial stab, right? Everything's a lot faster. They recover faster too. So you have to keep all of that in mind when you're sitting there and fighting. Now, is it impossible to take them out? No. What really makes them scary is when you combine all of these different speeds, tracking changes, and stuff like that, and then you throw in shared wounds. Because when you take damage, everyone in your team takes damage. And that's when things get kind of crazy. So we'll go ahead, we'll do some damage here. Again, we want to get in a situation where we're kind of hiding and then delivering a bit more damage. You want that ult. Now see, this is the only problem with the assassin's ult, right? You have to make sure that when it's targeting, you're actually getting the enemies in question. My goal is to make sure that if at all possible, see that is the tracking. So notice I dodged early. Look at that. Look at that speed. Look at that way to close distance there. See, it's just tracking city. Now, I am going to make sure that I don't somehow accidentally die while showing this, because that would just be shameful. So I'm just going to take a little bit of health there. Alright. And of course, the reason why this is a bit also a little bit more difficult with my current loadout is because the blowgun, though it is effective in a variety of ways, the reality is, at least with bombs, I can hold off or take on multiple waves of enemies without real difficulty. I can literally just sit there and use the bombs to hold off an entire section of enemies because, oh, okay, one concussion bomb stops them from moving for a split second, and so I can take advantage of that time window to do things. You don't have that option when you're in a situation with the blowgun. The blowgun has no stun power. Blowgun is just blowgun. Alright. We'll go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all of the archers from the beginning. Now see, I literally sat there and tried to roll out of that, and we see what happened there, right? So the best way to roll for the slam is to roll into it. And I'm going to kind of show y'all how to do that in a second if I can get rid of all of the other annoyances. I just need to be able to get rid of them. Right. Ah, okay. That should have gotten me far enough, but I guess it didn't. Normally that roll right there, that's the timing for it. But the slam came down a little bit on the fast side, I guess. So let's go ahead and run this one more time.
We'll
go back to Blood in the Snow, same thing. And I won't even do the whole circle clear because there's no need to. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of the enemies that are around the area. And then after that, we'll leave one Oni behind, one Oni Lord, because that's really what that thing is called. I think Oni Lord or Grand Oni Lord, something like that. And so we'll leave him behind. So we'll just swing over here, deliver one to the back of his head. That's our first one down. Next, we have this guy here. And you see how much those headshots drain health, right? So one more, and we should be able to just assassinate him straight out. And of course, this is the real power of the blowgun assassin, right? Because you can literally sit there and take out several enemies very quickly and basically leave the majority of the enemies none the wiser as to what even happened. And that should be everyone except the big guy. That's how to dodge him. Again, we did have aggressive enemies activated. That's how to dodge him. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and run away. Just so that we can, because let me make sure that I activated it. Yep, see? Bam, they're activated. So that's how to dodge that smash. You have to wait until it's like he's kind of like halfway coming down from that smash attack. And that's when you dodge. So this, you jump it. And you can sidestep that. Don't get hit by that, of course. So it's like with the Oni Lords, do 2 hits and then back off. Watch for that. When he does that double, he's always going to do the slam. But see, I dodged late, apparently. I dodged late. See? And then he still followed up and stepped in to swing at me. So that's one of those where you just have to really take a lot of distance most of the time when they're fighting. That's why I tend to like bombs when doing HH or when fighting anything that's in the custom plats. Because for me personally, now again, there are some people who have the dodges totally mastered. Like they can dodge anything. I'm not at that level when it comes to HH, and I admit that. So I make sure that I'm not in a position to get hit a lot of the time. So, for example, if I were to switch this up and I use Bomb Assassin instead, now the difference here is, of course, right, I can get rid of the Smoke Bomb like the Mist of Yagata, and instead I would just run something like Forbidden Medicine. If you're doing a bomb assassin, you can either go in the direction of black powder bombs or you can go in the direction of flash bombs. You can still keep kunai, or you can switch and go to sticky bomb. Totally up to you. It's not really a big deal no matter how you run it. And so let's do this one more time. Okay.
さすがの目利きですな。雪に咲く赤。
So let's go ahead and fight them here. And so this time, of course, again, we're using bombs, right? So the difference here is you won't be able to sit there and come in and spam the blowgun from far away. But what you can do is still strategically fight or use, since we have flash bombs here, you can use those to stop an enemy from doing something. So we are just gonna go ahead and take out this enemy. We'll go ahead and take these guys out. I'll retreat in here for a second. So the thing is that of course you can count how many concussion bombs you have and stuff and take advantage of that. Concussion bombs earn you a little bit of resolve, not much, but it's enough to get something done. And see, if you know what you're doing, it's very easy for you to get your resolve up when using the concussion bombs. I was hoping that I'd be able to pick up that item. Not off to the best start, but I'm gonna redeem myself. Alright, let's move on. Because to be honest, I could have used the flash bomb too. And that's the thing that also comes with not running them on a regular basis. When I switch from blowgun to flash or from something like that, I forget sometimes the different methods to use each one, right? Now let's see what we have here. We can go ahead and set that off too. And so the beauty of the flash bomb is that it immobilizes the enemy for a while. And it also gives you a very, very nice amount of resolve for the trouble. And see, that allows you to prevent enemies from moving for the most part. The only thing that I hate is, as you can see, certain moves have animation time. And you have to be really careful with that because those animations will lock you long enough for you to take damage from stuff that, quite honestly, you probably shouldn't take damage from. But it is what it is. Alright, so we have 2 and 1 left for that. That's fine. Let's see, this dude's running over here. And there we go. So like with the Oni Lords and fighting the Oni Lords, again, I'm not going to say I'm some super genius at that. Generally, I can dodge them pretty well, relatively speaking. But again, I'm going to be honest, one of the first things you learn with an HH, unless you're truly in that range where you're probably good enough to solo one by yourself, is just, yeah, it was redundant, solo one, is that just don't get too close. The idea is anytime you see the Oni Lords, you prioritize getting rid of them so that you don't have to sit there and deal with extra levels of foolishness in terms of, oh snap, I'm literally here. I'm one enemy away from winning. Oh no, there's a ghost Oni Lord. I hear the glint. I hear the sound of the spear, but the dodge doesn't work and I get trapped. So the best way to just not have to deal with that is to just not do it to yourself to begin with. And I guess let me go ahead. I'm going to do something really quickly. And I'm going to come online, per se, because he's probably going to be trying to invite people. I think he's ready. Ow. So, as I'm sure anyone who saw that was able to see, that wasn't actually what I meant to do. And that happens a lot with the assassin, where you'll go for specific movements and everything will kind of go wrong in the process of. And see, this is an example of how you can get pile driven by enemies. The tracking level is insane. So see, I wasn't even able to do enough to stop him entirely. So that's how I'll deal with that. And then this is kind of our last spot here, so I'm gonna just wait until they come this way. Which, of course, they will be here pretty soon. So we'll go ahead and start by taking care of him. Come right over here, set up. Because of their willingness to do that stupid move, I tend to like to kill Oni Lords from within smoke. That way I don't have to worry about anything like getting caught out of nowhere by an attack. See, again, you stop it before it starts. You stop it before it starts. Now you have to deal with archer foolishness, right? Where you're going to be dealing with archers trying to kill you out of nowhere. So the best idea is to drop as many bombs as possible, and then the second that you have a chance to get your stuff back up, then you use it. And as you can see, I don't use the arrow indicator, I just dodge based on sheer skill.
つかの間ではあるが安らぎを味わった。敵の新手が姿を現した。
Another thing that you can use to your advantage is to stand around the circle's edge like this. And as you can see, most enemies will not immediately attack you if you're standing on that circle edge. For whatever reason. It's kind of taking advantage of the mechanics a bit, but hey, if you're in a situation where you're trying to fight a ton of enemies at once, I don't really see a problem with taking advantage of the mechanics, right? Now with archers, you try to take out archers as much as possible. If you have the opportunity to get rid of archers, then you use it. So So I'm doing this also to get enemies out of the circle and to take advantage of some resolve. Now that is an example of what I meant by, oh, if you're in an action, you can't get out of the action. So even though I had sat there and tried to get out of that attack, I still took it because if you're currently counted as having an action in play, you can't get out of it. The game doesn't let you. Now notice that the arrows come faster. So for me, the way that I tend to fight, if I'm in a situation like that, you stop using your eyes to focus on the enemy. Because eyes won't help you. What you do is you kind of give a wide-eye view. So basically, instead of focusing on each enemy, you're just looking at the screen and you're paying attention to the glints and the sounds. But you don't actually focus in on a per enemy basis, because otherwise all it's going to wind up happening is you get hit. Now after this, we'll probably go ahead and go back out. Hopefully Pim is pretty much ready. Because to be fair, I really had planned on running the HH by now. I didn't realize he was planning to do a bunch of other stuff, so I kind of got left out of the loop on that one. Alright, so see how they come, they're going to find alternate paths. So that's why you kind of want to be careful here and just let them come in, do whatever they're going to do. Again, you can use this circle wall to your advantage. See, they're not even attacking until I step into the circle. And that's when, of course, the foolishness starts, right? Now we see him. So the first thing that we're going to do is put ourselves in a position to where we can attack him without getting easily countered or attacked by other stuff. See again the power of that smoke bomb, right? Now they can hit me from here though. As long as you're in the smoke bomb, you're safe. But the second that you're not in that smoke bomb, remember you can be struck. Keep an eye on them, and then what I'm doing there is waiting for that waiting for my kunai to load up. Let's clear the circle as quickly as we can. Alright. That's what I was waiting for there. There's nothing to do about the fire. You're going to get damaged by that. Because at this point we're fighting with wildfire, right? And see, that's a very good way to get your ult back quickly. Alright, see, they're done now. And then we throw that kunai, which knocks him out. This is the last one. Now notice how fast he was able to shoot that arrow. So it was about half the time that you would normally have on the draw from an enemy, shooting at you. So we're gonna go ahead and stop this part here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and back out and see when he's pretty much ready, I guess, to go ahead and get going. I'll make a few build changes though, and what we can do is we'll start doing some other stuff. So let's see here. As I said, because we're going to run that HH, I'm probably going to use the blowgun. Reason being, there's going to be points where we need to get headshots and stuff like that, and let's just be honest, bombs aren't great for that. The funny thing is, bombs are extremely powerful for clearing the field when fighting enemies. But bombs are not good for doing most other stuff. So that's the thing that you have to keep in mind. That's just something you have to remember. because when you're actually looking at objectives, bombs don't tend to help with objectives. So let's see here. We'll keep that kunai there, and we'll switch back to Mist of Yagata. And what we can do for right now.
どの伝説をお聞きになりますかな?
I'll just go ahead and start running some of this stuff too, I guess. So let's see about the nightmare story. I'm trying to think about which character I want to use. I really don't have a preference here.
どの伝承に惹かれますかな?
And yeah, we'll do this one. Hold on, let me see. Let's do the nightmare story solo, just in case I need to pull out of the nightmare story. Because I just want to make sure that
痛ましい話ですぞ。内常の民。
So this is the Uchitsune one, and so you should be able to pretty easily. So see, melee attacks cannot deal killing blows to enemies, so that means that you have to use other stuff to take them down with this one, right? So I mean, it's not impossible, certainly, to be able to sit here and fight these guys. You just have to do what you have to do.
Oni no inu ga Claude no niyoi o kari ate, koboe o agete aruji o yomu.
There we go. Now see, if you notice, what happens with dull katanas is that you can reduce all the enemies to basically almost no health, but you just can't finish them with your sword. So then what you have to do from here is use something like kunai, for example, to finish the job. That or darts. Now, that's a doggone shame. There we go.
Niwaka ni Furumisha no Reikon ga sugata o miseta.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like he's just doing random stuff. So in that case, let's go ahead and we'll bring in some people. I'm gonna kind of do my own thing for a bit, and then we'll see what Pim wants to do later. Or if I'm still, and who knows, either I'll still be on or I won't be on. So let's go ahead and get into this, because I actually normally with this kind of stuff, I'd like to run it with other people so that they get the benefit, right? So let's go ahead and do matchmaking. We'll stick with the same build.
Uchitsune no Tan.
This one's dull katanas, so the sword won't work. Like, it won't finish him off. You can get him low, but you need to do something else to kill him. Some type of status effect. Alright, so now we grab the bow. So the idea with the spirit bow, for anyone who's listening in on the stream, you have to hit them twice with the spirit bow to be able to reduce their immunity. So, ult will not kill them, but it will damage them to the point where you can finish them with kunai 9 times out of 10. Like that. Alright. Oh, cool. Alright. Alright. Gotta get this dude up here. So that's done. I can't get to that other dude fast enough. Because then it makes it easy for me to just pile status effects on enemies. Alright. I'll switch to weakening darts. So now we just need to find the Oni treasure and the Gyozen scroll.
巻物、何を書いたものだ
most of their health.
鬼がいる。
鬼の犬がクロードの匂いを嗅ぎ当て遠吠えを上げて主を呼んでいる。
Benefit is
伊予の兵はついに倒れ、日吉の湯は静けさを
I'm just
取り
gonna
戻
grab
した。
some ammo.
まだやらねばならんことがある。
Yep. There we go.
鬼は全て倒され、
Cool.
その宝はクロードの手に渡った。
お前は頼りになるな。
Alright, now we just gotta do Yozen's curse.
戦支度をするクロードだったが、不意に身の毛がよだち体を震わせた。打ち常を取り戻すべく
Reduce health.
般若の手下が次々に
So for
現れ
anyone
た。
not familiar with this level, the idea is to defend this circle here. Alright.
戦いに備えろ。 さらばだ。 助かった助かった。
Very nice, but alright.
気づかれてないぞ。 敵がいるぞ。
今少しで呪いは解けた。
You know what? We'll have to go off the reservation for this.
こに落ちろ。
Alright.
前は頼りになる
ク
な。
ロードだ。我が魂は自由になったが、まだ成仏するわけにはいかん。般若の悪人を止める術を見つけ。
Alright, that's it. GG's. I don't think I'm going to play Nightmare Survival because I honestly don't feel like getting into anything that long. So, ooh, that's Trials. I'm trying to remember which Trials this is. If that's the Obelisk, I really don't want to do that one either. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna do a really light plat survival and then probably end it after that. So let's go ahead and do that, and then of course I'm gonna go back and change the title of this video because again it was supposed to be a hidden heart attempt, but I guess we'll do that, later point. Yeah, and I know it can take a long time for us to get a feel for a custom plat, so I don't really want to wait for that either. So we're just going to do a random plat. Let me just see what character I want to use, to be honest. It's kind of a toss-up. I don't really have a preference either way. I'll use my hunter. And what I'm probably going to do is kind of play away from. That's normally how I play. I try to play away from people. So I'm gonna just pick one circle probably, and then just stay in that one circle. Because otherwise, it's not fair to folks. I'm gonna just keep it real. 120 characters are kind of over the top. Like they don't really need to be in your normal plats anyway. Even in a Nightmare Survival, a 120 character is too strong, to be just being honest. So that's why a team of 120s is way too much. Okay, so we got folks coming in from... Never mind. Wave must have already been cleared somehow. Okay, that's glitchy. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So that one player was kind of messing up the game then, because for some reason it still glitched and the player hasn't exited. Alright. I don't know what's going on right now. There we go. Alright, so since they're heading to the cliff, I'll stay back for a second.
ロードの兵具が的を射抜く。
打ちつれるマナか。
敵の数はたちまち減っていった。
私は百発百中さ。もういないようだね。
Alright, I'll head back to work.
災いが待ち受けているとクロードは悟った。
Yeah, it's up to y'all, but I have this area.
自慢の弓だよ。
敵は仲間が倒れる様を眺めることしかできない。クロードにとって対峙できる敵などいないのだ。
Alright, I'll go to the beach.
クロードに狙われたが最後敵に逃れる術はない。
私は百発百中さ。打ちつれるマナか。
鬼の命の灯火は静かに消えていった。
なんとか勝てたね。
Alright, so I decided to go ahead and mute the voice chat a bit because I'm trying to speak to y'all, not necessarily everybody in the game. But yeah, so like the fire arrows and stuff like that, for example, as you saw, I was able to use that fire arrow combination to really stack damage very, very quickly. And then after that, be able to sit there and use that to take out enemies.
自慢の弓だよ。
Now that's a long-range headshot.
次々と倒れる。
Oh, that's annoying. Let me speed this up a bit.
鬼の体は黄泉の国へと戻された。
打ちつれるマナか。
Get rid of all them. Take care of him. He's done. As a Ronin, he should be fine, but I'm just gonna swing over just in case. Yeah, he's taking a bit too much
クロー
damage.
ドは
Yep.
助けを求めた。
私は百発百中さ。打ちつれるマナコ。
And so as you can see, I don't have the arrow notification. I don't play with it. But what I do is I just make sure to listen for the sounds. If you know the sounds and you can hear and pay attention to the bow draw, you can properly deal with the situation here. Alright. Now see, this could have been a nice time to get some bonus going, but I'm just not even gonna waste my time. It's really hard for me to be able to sit there and get the right shot off. And the funny thing is, if they weren't doing the absolute most and helping in an area where they don't need to help, it'd be really easy for me to actually get the shots. As I said, my hunter's not the best on the planet, so, you know, I don't have the best aim ever. I'm gonna go stop them from taking both, because otherwise we're gonna lose it at this rate. Alright, I gotta be a little careful about how I do this.
リオが頼みとした仲間が刃の錆となり果て
打ちつれるマナコ。
Oh, okay, it's going out.
Alright. かろうじて息はしている。
いや助かった。力を合わせるぞ。
礼を言うよ。
恐るべき敵がクロ
It
ード
can
に
be
迫る。
shameful, I guess, but with no healing and stuff like that, I'm not the type to put myself in a position where I might go down. Because if I go down, I can't get anybody else up. So it's kind of imperative that I make sure not to take the risk to somehow go down by without when it's not
敵
necessary.
は仲間が倒れる様を眺めることしかできない。
Alright, and I don't have a way of healing myself. So because he stopped me from being able to collect. Shouldn't have really, but it did. Which was of course very annoying.
They're about
to start dying all over the place now. They should be fine down there because they're both Ronin. There we go.
クロードとの戦いで敵は多くの精鋭を失った。
あんたいい仲間だ。
Oh, okay, yeah, they're both still coming into their own on their Ronins. Because Ronins are honestly broken once you have them set up right. Really, every character in the game is kind of broken once you have it set up right. Yep, can't see anything around.
クロードの兵具が的を射抜く。
打ちつれろマナコ。
鬼の命の灯火は静かに消えている。
打ちつれろマナコ。
クロードは余力を振り絞った。
復讐は何も生まんが構うものか。
打ちつれろマナコ。
クロードは次々と敵をなぎ倒す。
いや助かった。礼を言う。
助かった。
力を合わせるぞ。
敵の遠兵が到着した。
驚いただろ。
If they stay back, they make my job
打ち
easy.
つれろマナコ。
I wonder if some people
鬼でさえ
understand the power
クロードに
of,
とっては敵でな
of
い。
a good hunter. I don't have any fire yet, so
クロードは勝っておられぬほどの疲れを。
打ちつれろマナコ。自慢の指だよ。
クロードを止める術はない。まがまがしい鬼の体はもう二度と動かない。
gonna go close this circle so that we don't have to worry about that at all. Alright. I'll let him feel it. Again, it's not that I don't want people to help. I'm fine with that. It's just, if I know that I have it, like, just let me take that wave. Because the thing is, you're going to get another wave. Like, there's 3 waves. You can focus on another wave and not have to get in the way, per se. But it's like people have this need to want to get involved when you don't need to do that. Because I mean, again, I know I'm not the best player, and as I'm sure you, anyone watching this has noticed, I'm not trying to actually beat them to every zone either. Honestly, I care less. I'm just doing whatever. So like that one, I'm gonna let them run through that. Yeah. Again, it's not that big of a deal. I just want to make sure that I'm in the best possible place to support, and then I like to take normally a circle to myself. So like, I'm gonna see how they handle a double wave by themselves. I'm gonna just let them take that double wave, the 2 of them. I'll get involved if I have to, but I want to see if they can manage it on their own. And then me, I'll take this one. Now again, with the hunter, there's 2 different ways for me to do this, right? I can sit here and waste my time burning up my ability, or I can just put that up and then just blow them apart as they come in. Hate that bit. So the thing about the hunter, you gotta make sure that at all times you are paying attention to your location, right? See, like that. Getting kind of annoyed with it, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually use my ult. Then that'll allow me to speed this up. Alright, come on, get me up there. Because again, if it's a double, they should have been able to take a double because there's 2 of them there. But it is what it is. That's fine, I understand things get a little rough. And they're lower level, so I understand. Yep. Figured that was gonna happen.
ロードに敗れ
There we
た
いい調子だ。
復讐は何も生まんが簡単な意地でない。
Oh.
あんたいい仲間だ。
クロードの戦いはまだまだ終わりそうになかった。
Yeah, I didn't see that OD slam at first. I figured that it was going to be a different attack, and then I did that small sidestep. But again, the problem with that small sidestep is it's just not strong enough.
死は彼方から敵の体を貫いた。
It's great in theory.
クロードは次々と敵をなぎ倒す。
私は百発だ。
まがまがしい鬼の体はもう二度と動かない。
Alright, I'm gonna leave them to hand. Because I gotta get the cliff. Come on. Alright, so we get this circle. And see, again, that's the thing that I don't understand why they're not doing this. They're not closing circles. Like, you should always close circles.
ついにその大地を迎える。
Because you don't know what could happen. And if you get delayed in another location, you won't be able to properly deal with that next circle. Alright, so they're going there. I'm gonna let them handle that. I'm gonna assume they're competent enough to do that together. For the time being.
クロードは
Okay.
かろうじて戦士を残す。
Alright. So, take care of them. Now we need to speed this up. I hate the fact that you got all these enemies that want to move around and run.
鬼を黄泉の国へと送り返した。
Now see, this is an example of I was trying to move away and I got stuck. Now see, oh my goodness gracious. I don't think they can get each other up on there. Oh.
クロードの陣所が少しずつ破られる。
Die, dang it. Okay, cool. Alright, now see, this is another example of not making sense. You don't fight up there because if they both go down, then in that case, I have to try and run out of there to get up to them. And that'll be an instant loss.
クロードは狙いを誤ったな。
See? So see, what he's doing there is just pure stupidity. He has to hope that he doesn't go down trying to save the genius.
イオが頼みとした仲間は刃の錆となり果てた。
Okay. Oh my god. Alright. Oh. Wait.
クロ
That's
ードが仲間の命を救った。
Alright,
は倒れたがかろうじて息はしている。
いや助かった。無事ったな。
Alright, we have 3 more waves to go.
さらなる敵勢が姿を現した。
So I'm gonna let them head to both themselves. Mine is headshots. Well, that's a bonus objective, so we're gonna get that anyway just by proxy. Alright, so this is simple. Especially with me being left to my own devices here, this is really
彼方から静かに敵を砲撃。
Yeah, he's gonna die just on that. Alright, I gotta get up here. The climbing thing takes so long this way. I'ma hope they can handle on their own.
クロードは余力を振り絞った。 鬼でさえクロードにとっては敵でなかった。
I gotta hurry.
敵勢の果敢な攻めを受け守りが崩れた。
Okay.
クロードは持てる力を出し
I'll take that staff. Nope. See, the thing is that that's not how you use bomb protection. Like, you don't just sit there and just use them to bounce the enemies back and forth. You engage the enemies with combat in between each bomb. Bomb strike, bomb strike, bomb strike. You have to do that because if you don't, then you create a scenario where it's very easy for you to get overwhelmed. Because once you run out of bombs, what are you going to do at that point? Let's just be honest. Like, what's your game plan, right? So you have to have some type of method in which you're going to keep the enemy locked down. Now the funny thing here that they don't seem to get is if I'm the one who's actually creating most of the damage, then you probably want me to be the one able to actually fight properly. Now, I'm gonna need to help them as soon as possible, and then after that, I'm gonna need to go. Oh my god. There. Just
鬼はこの世に別れを告げた。
Took a second, but I made it happen. And see, that's the power of positioning when it comes to the hunter. You have to know how to position.
しばしの間太刀がぶつかる鋭い音が止んだ。
Alright. So we need a bunch of stuff.
これでクロードを殺せると敵は固く信じている。
And I think that might happen.
撃ちすれろマナコ。
Alright. I'm gonna leave them to fight that area. Oh, this is bad. This is like maximum bad. Ow. Because I hate bears because there's really nothing you can do other than like jump around and dodge them.
私は百発百中
You
だ。
know?
死は彼方から敵の体を貫いた。
Bombs or whatever. Nope.
おられぬほどの深手を負った。
撃ちすれろマナコ。鏡の言い訳。
クロードに適せぬものなしだ。
驚いただろう。
Alright. So we made it.
敵はすべて倒れた。クロードは生き延びたことにふーっと息をつく。だ
And
が
that's
撃つべ
again
き
that's
敵
now
はまだ
granted
残る。
I am not superb with the hunter, but this is an example of playing the hunter. There's zero healing on my hunter whatsoever. I can't heal from jack diddly that I do with it. Only ways of healing are from like barrels and stuff like that. And granted, the Ronins were throwing out healing and stuff, but you know, still.
クロードが残した数々の手柄。
Alright.
その一つを
So
お話ししま
honestly,
しょ
at
う。
this point, I am honestly about to wind it down. I think, because yeah, I still haven't received a message yet from him. Let me check. Let me just check. Maybe I didn't see it. No. So nothing yet. So I'm about to go ahead and get off for a bit, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll change the description for this one. Again, we just did some random stuff. I showed off some different characters, different builds, and if they decide to do the Hidden Heart tonight, I'll get back on and we'll run it. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Yeah, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. This has been War on Gaming.